Just normal me today. Feeling really depressed today. I felt it the entire week, but it came harder today. It hit me really hard when I was in nature. Actually, for some reason, it helps me normally to go out in nature and contemplate on life and escape. I normally sort of meditate when I do it. I enter a meditative state. When I'm in nature, I'm out for hours in the wilderness, but this time it just hit me hard. Like I've sadness. Like I'm reminded of how this reality, it's so sad. This world, like I said in many previous videos, I'm a kind of believer or spiritualist, but not really of any particular faith, to say it like, put it like that. Oh, I also have a new shirt, as you can see. It's some symbolism on it. I think it's some cross in the back, like religious cross. I don't know. I'm not certain, but you can see it better now, the shirt. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, like I'm a spiritualist in the sense that I have always had a faith. I've always had a belief in that there is something else outside this world and reality, and that it's itching here, that we are not just the corporeal bodies, like a lot of materialistic people want you to believe, and a lot of science stuff, claims that we're just meat bodies and a brain and a computer, basically, but there's nothing behind the computer. There's nothing piloting it. It's just a lot of impulses and neurons and all of that. I don't believe that. Not at all. I've never bought into that empirical science stuff regarding how reality is. So I've always been a firm believer. I've always been a firm believer in the spiritual, and I forgot what I was talking about. I need to get my coffee. Yeah, like when my dad died, I saw his spirit with my own eyes. I saw a golden orb, and that to me is like, I was already a believer, but it was evidence that something happens with the consciousness after you die, and that the body goes on. But I mean the consciousness. So, and there's even scientists, like big names in science, that are investigating and creating real scientific theories about the soul, that the consciousness, the brain, the neurons in the brains are piloted by micro teletubes, something with microtubulars or something like that. And that it goes on after you die. It gets released from the brain. The energy is stored. It's like quantum mechanics. They're using quantum science to explain it. That the brain, the consciousness, is actually quantum data stored in the brain that gets released when you die into the ether or of the universe or something. That's what scientists, some with PhDs in quantum physics and mathematics and everything, are actually trying to bring into science regarding the consciousness and the soul, that it's real. It's not just some made up stuff by religion and spirituality. But in my case, I've always believed I don't need data, but it feels good to know that some scientists are working on it to find out what happens after you die. I've always felt I'm not from here. I can't explain it. When I was a child, I really didn't feel that I belonged here. I can't really explain how it feels, but it's like, you don't belong somewhere, and this is a place you've never been to before. In that sense, that when you visit a new location, it's another feeling completely different. And I felt as a child that this reality is not real, it's a dream. It's like a dream. And my daughter, she's 6.5, she's also an autist. I'm sorry. The other day when she was here with me, we were walking to. The music. Yeah, like I said, I've been very sad this entire week, and I'm frustrated, but I don't show it to my daughter or anyone. I just try to be stoic, I don't talk about my pain with anyone. I don't want to burden anyone with my suffering, because I know people are already suffering. But anyway, fucking music. Stop making me cry. And my daughter said, she looked at the sky and the light, the rays from the sun when they were penetrating the leaves on a beautiful morning in the autumn, And she said out of nowhere when we were walking together and she was holding my hand, she said, "Dad, is this a dream? Is reality a dream?" And I remember exactly feeling the same thing as she did that age. I just looked up to the sky and I got the epiphany that, is this a dream? Am I in a dream? Am I even real? Am I a dream? Am I part? Is something dreaming me, conjuring me up? And it got me so sad. It made me so sad. I lay down on a rock and started crying, just looking up the sky, Felt hopelessness, And my daughter has the same thoughts at 6.5 years. And I told her, I don't want to make her feel melancholic and sad as a parent about existing, but I told her, I'm not certain, darling, I don't know, maybe. I felt, I wondered the same, if this reality is a dream since I was your age, actually, I told her. And that nevertheless it's reality, we exist, I told her, but we don't know what existence is, for sure. So my daughter, I love her more than anything, but it's sad that she's suffering like me, the same suffering. I feel bad that I brought her here sometimes to this world to suffer, because I didn't ask to come here myself, be born. And I did the same with her. I don't regret my daughter in any way or shape. I don't regret her. She's the most beautiful thing that has ever happened to me, and she gives me a purpose and the strength to continue, carry on my life and believe in myself, and to never stop fighting, because I'm doing it for her too. But I can't help feeling that I brought her to a hellish world, a nightmare existence, I have anxiety over it. brought her to hell, you know. She even says things like sometimes, why is everything so sad there existing? I can't reply to it properly. Started to get myself together now. Sorry for the sentimental. Like I said earlier, I'm not the type that cries or, you know, goes around opening up and talking about my anxiety and depression and feeling sorry for myself. A lot of people have that stupid viewpoint on people that are suffering and reaching out, trying to get help, and just get kicked on when they're lying down, basically treated like crap and shit by some heartless bastard that has such a privileged life that he or she can't even relate to suffering, you know. That they are so blessed with life that they don't even have to go through pain in life. You know how lucky you are. Anyways, what I was saying is that I felt always that this reality is like an illusion, like my daughter said the other day ago, and of course I can't prove it. Not even science can prove it, but they are onto that simulation theory, you know, and holographic universe, like in the Matrix, you know, from the movies. And like I said, I believe this world is an illusion somehow. It's like a simulation, or if it's not a simulation, it's kind of like a lesser reality based on the higher reality. Is a copy, a flawed reality. And if you're into the Gnostic teachings and from the pre-Abrahamic teachings, this is the lesser reality created by the demiurge. And if you know who the demiurge is, the real name for the Jehovah, the God of the Bible, the demiurge is the actual creator of this so-called lesser reality, and we're all trapped here. We're all trapped here, according to the Gnostics. We are trapped here to pay for something, pay for our karmatic whatever, according to a lot of spiritual beliefs, you know. It's not just in that pre-Abrahamic faith, it's also in Buddhism, and I think in Hinduism, and lots of the old religions from the Orient and different parts of the world. They believe we are living in a lesser reality, and we are all trapped here to pay for our karmatic depths, basically. And that's something that I almost believe, to be honest. That's what I feel about my existence, because this reality is so fucked up, it's so corrupted, it's so evil, it's so sinister, it's so... For all of people who are religious or spiritual and actually believe in the afterlife and hell is here. We are living in hell. We are trapped in fucking hell. And some people are privileged in hell. They have a nice time here. They are so privileged that they don't even see that they are living in hell. They don't even see that they are trapped as well. They don't even see it. They are so distracted, and they have such a good time here with distractions that they never get to even speculate on existence or why they're here. And the rest of us, it's possible that some guys never existed, you know, like they were just NPCs, basically, just meat shells, but there's no consciousness in it. It's like it's driven by themselves on autopilot, and they're just like NPCs in a video game, computer game. And when they die, there's nothing that gets released anywhere. So they just disappear forever. And the rest of us, who have a consciousness, who gets dispersed into the ether when we die, we actually understand this reality is not real. And we suffer. And we suffer because we are trapped in an illusion. Yeah, I'm going ape shit insane here on this channel. Normally I don't talk about stuff like this on this channel, but I do it in other places. But today is just too much. I felt like I can't keep it in. It's eating me up from within, you know, this pain. And I've never read his books or anything, but have you ever heard of the philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer? His theory about life and the pessimistic view on existence. I basically share his viewpoint on that life is a prison, the universe is a prison, we're trapped in a prison against our will, and he wasn't even into the whole demiurge and Abrahamic things about the karma and the soul being trapped here. He was more into, you know, that it's just probably, you know, a coincidence that we're made and everything like that. And we're trapped here anyway. And, you know, maybe I haven't read enough to even know about if he had some kind of spiritual belief. But I share the whole perspective on life being suffering, you know, and that you have to find ways to suffer less. And that happiness doesn't really exist, it's just distraction, like pleasure, other people, having fun all the time. That's just distraction from the actual core of life, which is not, you know, what we think it is. It's actually suffering. We have so much forced obligations put on us from start, traumas, pain, people die, everybody we love leave us. We die, everybody dies. That's one of the saddest things, you know. I am always thinking about it when I'm out. I can't stop thinking about it. I walk past an amazing, you know, lake or a forest, and I see a happy family, and I see some children. That reminds me of my daughter, and I think, everyone there will die. That child will die. Everybody you see is dead. We're walking dead. Everybody you've ever met, everybody you ever will meet is on a death sentence. And it's so sad. It's so fucking sad. It's made me sad since I was a child, you know. I look at my daughter and I see how amazing she is and how much I appreciate her. And I know one day she will die. She will see me die too. She will have to suffer seeing me dead in a state that will traumatize her. Finding me, you know, dead and all, you know, lifeless is so sad. That I brought her here to experience that. Everybody will die. Every beautiful being. Every beautiful. Me, I will die. Everyone will die. You will die. And it's unavoidable. And that's one of the things that Arthur Schopenhauer talked about. And the little I know about his philosophy. And he was called the Prince of Pessimism and everything because of that viewpoint. But I believe he was just a realist. But the beautiful thing is that I share exactly what he also believed, that knowing that all of this reality is so painful, and we suffer so much, and we all meet the same fate in the end, waiting for our basically waiting for our clock to run out. That the most important thing we can do is to be kind, to treat people nice in hell, to do everything you can to be empathic, loving, caring person. Because everyone is suffering their own battles, their own pain that we don't see. For this reason, it's important to always try to ease the pain of people instead of making it worse. It's not easy. We all have our days when we just feel like knocking somebody knocking them out cold, you know. But please, if you can, don't do it. Keep that anger inside, because all you will do is create more pain, a circle of pain that never ends. It's so difficult, but it's not impossible. Imagine how little time we're here actually. Our existence is so short, and we spend so much time fighting each other, hating each other, creating conflicts, making people's life miserable, taking out our pain on other people, our suffering on others, venting our pain, our anguish and anxiety on everybody else. Imagine how pointless it is, considering how little time we spend here, how limited our visit or punishment here. Punishment, I don't know how you see life is. And many people just spend it hating others. Hating. I don't understand. I used to be like a misanthrope in the past. I still have a lot of resentment toward humanity, but I still choose not to hate people on individual levels. I try to give everybody a chance, and everybody positive, constructive, feedback and help. Even when I'm feeling like shit myself, I help others. I try to inspire them, I try to motivate them. I don't even go into my own pain and talk about it. I'm just focusing on them, trying to help them. If it helps them, it makes me feel good, And I do it without demanding anything in return either, without expectations. Being bad, being evil, being cold and ruthless, it takes nothing. It's not even, something to brag about. But you know what really makes you stand out as a person, according to me, is if you manage to affect the other people's lives and make them feel appreciated, even when you yourself are feeling like shit, when you're feeling so down and so left out of life that you don't even know why you're alive. That's so much tougher than being an asshole and just treating people like crap, writing hate comments on YouTube, or screaming at somebody at the street for anything, or just punching somebody in the face for anything. That takes so much more power and strength, people. It's not difficult being an ass. It's not difficult giving into the dark side of human. It's part of human nature too, that primal stuff. What's difficult is fighting it, overcoming it. All I'm praying for, if I can use that term, is to be united with my daughter when my time here is up. And hopefully my dad. That's all I'm praying for. If there is a God, if there's really, a higher intelligence behind all of this. Some kind of, if it's a simulation, if it's the AI itself, that can take you out of the program, or if it's just a lower dimension when you have to climb up to the other plane. The only thing I'm asking for is please redeem me. Let me get out of this. I don't want to come back here. I never want to come back here. I already feel I've been here many times before. I have past life dreams, I can't prove anything, and but I've had dreams of lives I've lived from my childhood. I dreamt, I even dreamt about my daughter before she was born. At 16 years of age, I actually dreamt of her. I woke up crying one night. I had a dream about a little girl who had curly, golden, blondish hair. That's exactly like my daughter today. Wavy hair. And she said "Dad" with such a loving voice. And then the dream ended and I woke up crying, like hysterically crying. Felt like I've lost somebody I loved enormously, like she died. Never understood that dream until today. I actually dreamt about my daughter. I saw the future over 20 years ago. So I know so much things don't happen without a reason, and that there's everything's connected. Time, past and present and future is like, quantum physics, that everything's happening now, constantly. Ouroboros principle. But anyways, I always had that feeling that it's not my first time here. And one of the dreams I had once too was I was a native. I think it was, I don't know if it was in South America or in North America, but I was a Native American and I had really long black hair and I was wearing, the entire get-up. And I remember being shot with an arrow in my chest and falling to my knees, dying, and feeling so sad, of melancholy inside me, and then I see a woman come running in panic, crying, taking, completely hysterical because I was dying. I believe she was my partner in that life. And I remember falling down, like this, holding the arrow and suffering because I was dying. I knew I was dying. And the woman was just crying, leaning over me. And in this life, I've always had you can't get close to my chest. You can't touch my bone here. It makes me panic. Nobody can get close here to me. If you try to touch me here, I'm like, whoa, back off, So, who knows? It's like some scar from a past life, And I've also had dreams from planets and realities I don't recognize. Everybody being wearing robes, like your typical Pleiadian stuff, people that are like white wearing robes, angelic, or what people believe are like light beings and stuff. In a dream I was a light being. Lol. But anyway, yeah, I think I don't think this is the real reality. Like I said, it's just a temporary thing we're here for. But even if this isn't like the real reality, we have to try to do the best things we can for ourselves and our surroundings, and treat people good, animals too, of course, nature. Always felt nature is alive, always felt it has a consciousness. When I go into a forest, I feel the forest is alive and it's talking to me, and it's welcoming me, or conscious of my intentions. My intentions are always peaceful, wherever I go. Occasionally punch a tree that's dead or something, but I apologize beforehand, and say I won't do it more if it bothers them or something. And I only punch them like dead stumps, nothing that's alive, or destroy anything that's alive. I hope I paid for my crimes when I'm out of here. I can go back. I'm fighting the evil in me. I'm fighting it. I'm fighting everything. By knowing your own dark side, you know the dark side of others too. Knowing your shadows, you understand the shadows of everyone else. I hope I didn't bring you down with this video. I just want to be true sometimes and no bullshit, you know, like dress ups or go into personas and feel beautiful and pretty. And I just want to be a real person, you know, authentic about how it is to feel and exist being me, you know. Talking about stuff most people don't want to talk about because they're so afraid of being judged. They're so afraid of being looked at weak or strange or, you know, like a nutcase or tinfoil hat or whatever you want to, you know, label it. I don't care about stuff like that. I vlog, but sometimes I touch serious topics too, like existential dread and melancholy and anxiety and what I'm talking about right now. And I know some people appreciate when I make videos like this. So, real videos, you know, because most people don't show their real selves. They just show personas, masks, and bullshit and fakery. They want to appear perfect, and we know that's not the truth. Well, I said most of the things I wanted to say in this video now.